on Amazon, and there are a whole lot of third-party e-commerce sites that you can also sell on AliExpress. I think for now, because of your location, you probably might only be able to sell books. But if you're probably in a place like Canada, where I am, I can easily sell anything on Amazon. And so the point I'm trying to make is you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are those guys. They're spending more money on high IT infrastructure. They have the platform. They have the network. They have the shipping and logistics network already created. So you don't have to worry about all of that. So just leverage. Look at what platforms are out there. Leverage those platforms, and if you want to put up your own website and display that, that also works. But it definitely, you will need to hook up payment engine with it. You would also need to find a way to promote it over the internet, over the social media, through digital marketing. So that's going to cost you some money. So depending on what you're selling. So like I said, the easiest way is leverage existing platforms first and see how your product will even do before going the route of creating a website and having all this payment integration embedded with the site. I hope that addresses your question. Then the second one is, I have a product I want to sell on the internet. What are the steps I can take to protect my product from hackers? How do I reach out to target audience and sponsors? Well, so your product is just one aspect of the entire ecosystem. So the internet itself, your website, your domain name, that's where you start from before you even get, because the product is what you're uploading on an existing website that has been built. It's not the site itself. So what you protect is not even the product, is the site. And let me explain it. So I have a TV in my house, I have a bed, I have a couple of things. Those are the products. Now, but to protect the TV, I don't go building a box or an iron. I mean, that will look so archaic, and people probably think you're crazy. So what you do is you secure the house, you secure your door, and that's what I'm trying to say. So that ecosystem, it's your website that you secure, and there are lots of ways by which you do that. And starting off from where you are hosting, are you sure your hosting company, are they performing their vulnerability checks? Are they updating their databases to the most recent versions? Are they dealing with bugs? So that's the first point. You need to verify it and validate that. Number two, if you're going to go the e-commerce route, you need things like SSL on your site. You need to have valid certificates. You need to also be sure that your codes, they're running on the latest. If you're using PHP, they're running on the latest version. And then there are so many measures that you can use for instance, I mean, gone are the days where you just create a site that and then you allow people to fill in without having a security check. And there's so many security checks these days. It's becoming so harder and harder. Usually I especially for me, I hate those sites that you will have to pick like 5 characters and then it moves to the next ones, the next 3 characters. But hackers are getting smarter, and that's why most developers are making it harder and harder and harder. But your first point, like I said, is are you sure that your hosting site is not compromised? I mean, if and it's this hosting company, and it's quite interesting that with the kind of internet I have right now, I can have like 10 servers in this house, and it will run so effectively, so effectively. I have 3 kids, my wife, and everybody streams on the internet from morning till evening, and it doesn't break. So the internet is, so I can actually host websites and all of that. So your website is, and I can use that on this current laptop. So it's just a system out there. So if I'm not doing the right things, if I'm not securing, I don't have the right firewall tools and all of that, you just be hosting on a compromised system that can easily be hacked. That can easily. So these are there's so many. I don't want to make it too complicated for you. So sorry that maybe I'm going too techy um, for some of us. So thanks for your delivery, sir. What's your advice to a young kid still in high school, passionate for tech, for the tech ecosystem, but still confused about what stack to 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 learn? I would always say everybody has a passion. So the thing is, what's your passion? Is it in the animation space? Is it okay? So where do you see Africa Tech? Okay, we'll take this one after the other. All right. So is it the animation space? Is it in and I mean when the word coding, we use it a bit loosely, but even in animation you do coding, in website you do coding, in building up application like your apps on your Google apps, your Apple uh, iOS apps, and all of that. You're still coding. I did a bit of automation while I was back, while I was in Nigeria, and you still had to code. So it could be so confusing. But the thing is, I mean, if you want to be true and sincere to yourself, what is my passion? And then you can begin to start from there. You can begin to take those, the initial learning journey, and it's definitely going to be a journey. I would always recommend see what other folks are doing in Google. If you're confused, see what your contemporaries, your peers are doing, and rather than using YouTube for just checking random videos, that provides you a whole lot of information, and you can begin to research, and then just get to a point where your heart just jives with. And not just about the heart jiving, you also need to do a bit of research on, is there a career path here? For me, if I go this, how are people, within this career path, how are they doing? So these are some of the questions that you definitely need to ask, and that will help you make those informed decision. And then there are people who have gone after you, who are doing so well. You can also easily poke at them, ask them those necessary questions. So you're not always on your own. You have people who have gone ahead, and you can learn from them. You can have them hold your hand. So last question, where do you see an African tech space becoming in the next 5 to 10 years, and what's your advice to people who are okay, people who are scared of transition because of the demand? I would basically say, and just one last thing that I will say, currently, I know, I mean, in the tech space, the Indians, they seem to be dominating, but definitely they don't have a different brain from Africans. I think it's just interest, and so we need to show a whole lot of interest. And I think workshops like this, I know Google, Facebook, and a couple of them, there are a couple of things that they're trying to do, to empower and to encourage folks in Africa. And as we see more of this, definitely you'll see a lot of interest being stirred up, and that's going to speak and help the Africans in the tech space, you know, as we journey along. I hope. I think my time is up. And, any other questions we can forward to the facilitator. I'm always happy to respond. And thanks for having me. And